critical component as far as the Indian universities are concerned, or the higher education domain per se, is the linkage between the education in an ab initio manner and its applications as far as the employers are concerned. So, when you talk of bridging the gap between the education and its application, which are linked with the industries, that is where the missing link starts coming up. Today, particularly in the professional education, and nowadays it's also true for the general education, when a professional college or a conventional general education college, when they start looking at the placement of students, because this is maybe an unholy world which has emerged into Indian economy. Maybe 100 years ago nobody would have liked to use that word, because education is a sector where you go on giving, create knowledge, see that it expands. Don't worry about what is going to happen. It's not a strategy in 21st century. The world has changed. The boundaries have disappeared. So every educational institution is following a certain approach to create that bridge gap between the industry and by inviting them on the campus, exposing students to that. So they have followed the good old method of creating a placement cell, another unacademic terminology which has emerged into the education system. But as of today, in the futuristic point of view, it's a technology which is the driving force for the education per se, delivery systems per se. But then, how to create that gap and how to bridge that gap is where, if you are now in a very integrated manner and a holistic approach, creating an umbrella structure for a university as a whole, or any higher education institution in totality, one of the prime component of that would be putting the output, credibility of your students on a portal which is linked with their futuristic, what I may call employability. And that's where the career word starts coming. So, this type of activity using the cloud, which is one of the most important things nowadays, which has emerged in last a decade or so, but more importantly in last 5 to 6 years, creating a bridge between an institution, the output, that is your graduates, and then the employer through a portal is a sensible way of doing it. And it will create a network scenario. And I hope that it becomes a cost effective also, because I know that the way today the colleges or the professional colleges are having the placement cell and communicating with the industries and trying to bring them on the campuses, exposing them to the students, is a time consuming, very cost, money intensive mechanism, which many lapses and many unhealthy trends which are emerging. So through a clean way of doing it, maybe such sort of a career would go. The larger barrier is percolating it to the system. But I think eventually it will happen. So on the whole, it looks to be a good. But certainly I will have to go into micro level and see myself how does it operate. That is where the real credibility and the value system comes. Okay, does it have a value?
Yeah.
Does it deliver what I was talking? Does it create that sort of a bridge, which is the need of the hour? So I appreciate this strategy. It's good. It looks to be good. And let us keep our fingers crossed.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's the way.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much.